What is going on, everybody? It is Foreign, and welcome back. Today I have with me Ideal Rex. Am I saying that correctly? All right,
Yeah,
good.
absolutely. Thank you. Thanks for having me on here. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. So basically, I had created a video a little while back for people to come and basically give me an idea that you want for dual com, and I'll do it. And you were the first person to come to me, so maybe this will set an example for those to come.
Yeah, so the idea that I wanted to do was I've been really into SimCity, and I know you're into all the graphic design and arts. So SimCity and cities in general are just so beautiful. What makes them beautiful to me is the geology and how they interact with it and build their city, and then how all the people interact with the stationary objects of the city. So I think SimCity, it's a simulation, but it's almost an artsy thing. You have so much freedom in how you create it.
Oh, definitely, definitely.
So that's where I'm at with that. I don't know. I was thinking like my two favorite cities. We got like San Francisco. We got the mountains, the bay. It's really limited on where they can expand to, and how the traffic can flow with Golden Gate Bridge and the bridges to get to there.
Uh-huh.
And then Pittsburgh, you got the two rivers where the old city's in the middle, and then you've got the new cities on the outside of the river where you got the bridges to them, the stadiums. I think both those are really interesting.
Yeah, definitely. And you know, around me, I mean, I'm in Milwaukee, so I'm in a pretty big city. Not so big. It's more of like what you would consider like a medium density population, I guess, when it comes to SimCity. And then just south of us is Chicago, which is huge, enormous. It's probably one of the biggest metropolitan areas.
Yeah.
I guess aside from maybe New York.
And what's interesting about that is like they built the inners of the city so long ago, and they slowly expand as they build their city planning skills. So you look at a city and want to start fresh, but it's taken hundreds of years to build to where it's at now, and I think that makes it really interesting.
Oh, definitely, definitely. Especially like when you look back at history and you see just like the beginning of skyscrapers.
Yeah.
And those skyscrapers are still here. Like,
yeah.
Like when you look at New York, like the Chrysler Building or the Empire State Building, like they were that tall years ago, and now everything else is starting to build up around them. You have, I don't even know what other towers are in New York and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely a beauty when it comes to the designs of cities, and I mean, the power that you have with SimCity itself to be able to, you know, make a curved road. Like, that's a huge step up from what it used to be. Everything was grids, and everything was try and get as many people as possible.
Yep, so. They've progressed it so much recently. Another interesting thing with the cities, you see with SimCity is, on the Simpsons screen, 95% of it's stationary. You have some buildings that are being built, but the only things that are moving are the people and the cars, and they give life to such a stationary city. There's so much that is fixed. And that's how cities work, that the people are the life, even though they're only the 5% of what's actually happening in the city.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you can go downtown in any city. Obviously you don't see buildings moving around or shifting left and right. You see people commuting, you see people walking, you see, you know, trains, you see buses.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see like how something can actually function. Like when you, if you look at, I think it's in Hong Kong, like the big central square.
Yep.
Like there's millions upon millions of people that walk through that square every day.
Yeah.
But somehow people are able to do it like freely, and there's no like bad jams or anything like that. Like it's pretty intense to see something like that. Like even in movies where they show shots of the central square and thousands of people going in each direction, and everyone's just, it's so swift.
Yeah.
That's I guess it's the only word I can really think of. It's swift.
Yeah. I deal with that almost on a daily basis at school, with this central area that everybody's crossing over all the time. It must be at least 70,000 people go through this small section every day, and it's amazing how people funnel through. It's almost like fluid dynamics, how they group up and go through hot patterns. It's really cool, and it's interesting how we're ingrained to do this. We build the roads so people can help them do it, but when you give us free, open space to walk, humans still pick those routes and make them swift, like you said.
Yeah. So tell me some stuff about SimCity. Now, what we're watching in the background, obviously you guys would notice because you're watching, is we're watching some flyby shots of some of your cities and some of the things that you've done. Like, what are some of the favorite things that you've actually done in SimCity so far?
There's so many cool things in it. I'm really into the traffic and, like we were talking about, but just how it flows and setting up a city to spread out the traffic and dilute it throughout it, which is really interesting to me. Other people are more into the buildings than progressions. What's cool about SimCity is there's tourist stuff.
Yeah.
So tourist or city specializations where you have to deal with the traffic. So say you have a coal plant, you have to deal with, hey, we have these on the coal things. How do we get those trucks to the exit of the city so they can ship out the things? For tourism, they have things where you build a stadium. And you have to get all the people, so I think it's like 300,000 people from outside your city, inside your city, to one location within like an hour because an event's happening at the stadium. And you have to design the roads, the traffic, the mass transit systems to allow that many people to get to one location.
Yeah, and I mean, there's solutions for that, obviously. If you put an airport near a stadium, that's going to help a lot because people are flying in and then they go straight to the stadium. It reduces the amount of having to travel across stadiums, or across the cities, or the plots, I guess they're called. What I've noticed is I've seen a lot of people do, like, I like the fact that you don't have to do industrial, you don't have to do the consumer stuff. Like, you could just do a residential city, and it'll grow.
Yep. The key to that, though, is you need industrial cities in your region so people can commute out.
Yes.
But it's interesting how you have, it's just like a suburb, right? Suburb, there's a little bit of industry, but most of the people commute out of there. It makes it like a actual region. It's the whole goal they were going for.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm enjoying the fact that you can team up with areas and make like the Great Works. I think that's a really interesting concept that they've introduced to the game.
Yeah. Those are, if you've actually played it, it's super hard to get those so much time. I'm looking to get 16 guys together and try to get as many of the Great Works as quick as possible and have them each going on their own city inside a region.
That would be awesome.
It takes so much and a lot of cooperation to get those Great Works because you got to have different cities specializing in different things that they create that come together to build it. So it's really cool.
Yeah, I'm actually, right before we started recording this, you informed me that people that purchase the PC version can also get it on Mac, because both of us are Mac users.
Yeah.
So I think I'm actually going to buy it. So you got one person that'll join you.
Highly recommend anybody watching buy SimCity. I know they had initial problems. I got it actually opening night. They had problems with the servers, but after the first 4 days, all the server problems are worked out. It's running smoothly. They've even developed the game further since it originally came out. So highly recommend that. If you're on the border with SimCity, if you're into the simulation, the planning, something like that, if you know what the game is, then I recommend that you buy the game.
Definitely. Anyways, I think that's all that we have time for. I hope that you guys enjoyed. Please go check out Ideal Rex. There will be an annotation on the screen for you guys to just click subscribe if you want, or there will be a link in the description for you to go over his channel and check out some of his other stuff. Maybe learn a thing or two about SimCity.
Thanks again for having me on here. I really appreciate it.
I hope to have you on again sometime.
See ya.
Bye.